Hi and welcome to the KC Conversation. This video is a factual understanding of the situation with COVID-19 and some of the potential positives. COVID-19 is a disease caused by the virus called Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2 or SARS-CoV-2. Although the name of the virus should be SARS-2 or SARS-CoV-2, the WHO assumed that the virus could be confused with the SARS outbreak of 2003. Therefore, for communication purposes, WHO refers to the virus as the COVID-19 virus. Even though SARS-CoV-2 is more infectious, it is still less fatal than MERS, Ebola and SARS. To understand the spread of the virus, we need to know what the R0 number is. It is the reproduction number of the virus. In other words, it is the average number of people who can get the virus from someone who already has it. For example, for measles, the R0 number is 12 to 18, and for the flu virus, the number is 2 to 3. The current R0 number for COVID-19 is 5.7. There are two kinds of R0 numbers. One is the basic and the other is the effective R0 number. The basic R0 number is the number of people who can get infected by the carrier under optimum conditions of the virus spreading. The effective R0 number keeps changing depending on how susceptible the population is in terms of age, quality of life, health, nutrition and hygiene levels. The number also changes when the people who are infected are found, isolated and are prevented from infecting others. As the spread is exponential, it is important that the R0 number goes below 1. For example, if the R0 number is 2, then the potential number of people who can get infected at every stage is exponential. For example, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and so forth. Hence, by the 6th stage, 64 people are already infected. If the R0 number is below 1, it eventually reaches 0, and therefore this means that there are no new cases. Now let's look at certain potential positives. The first potential positive is that there is now a real-world simulation of what it means to work from home. For a long time, employers were skeptical to let their employees work from home, but now, due to COVID-19, the world is in a unique position witnessing most people work from home. Another potential positive is that tech companies have played a large part in enabling different kinds of people like healthcare workers, government officials, regular people stay in touch with their friends, colleagues and their family members all over the world. Numerous investments have been made into the setup of robust medical infrastructure, vaccine development and technology to fight pathogens. The next time the globe encounters a pathogen, billions of tests can be coordinated within 3 weeks. There will be a better understanding of which drugs work to deter the pathogen, and a vaccine could be made ready in about 6 months' time. It is estimated that this pandemic will most likely cost the globe $4 trillion. We will be more ready the next time an epidemic occurs, and we will have measures in place to prevent it from becoming a pandemic and costing the globe a lot less in terms of money, lives and resources. Now let's talk about the vaccine. There is more research and testing being done for this virus than anything else in the past in a considerably short time. However, we still do not understand the epidemiology of the virus, how the human immune system responds to the virus, what is the best way to deal with it, etc. The best minds are learning as they go along. One of the challenges of developing a vaccine to treat viruses is that these viruses may adapt and mutate, and therefore the course of action needs to be changed all over again. China posted the genetic sequence, and private companies have been using that sequencing to create candidate vaccines. A company called Moderna has created a messenger RNA-based vaccine in just 42 days and have already begun human testing. The French are working on a measles-based vaccine. This is how different companies, biotechs, academic researchers, etc. are using different technologies to come up with a vaccine. The most viable, cost-effective, and quick to manufacture vaccine will be chosen. Organizations like the WHO are supporting 88 candidate vaccines, and CEPI, which is the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, is supporting 8. It takes 10 to 15 years typically for a vaccine to be developed and produced. For Ebola, the amount of time was scaled down to 5 years, and for this situation, they are trying to scale it down to 18 months. A way to ensure that rich countries do not hoard the vaccine once it is produced is to create manufacturing units all across the globe. I want you to understand that everything I've spoken about in this video is a simplified version of what actually is. I hope this gives you better understanding and brings to light the global effort in neutralizing this threat. I will end my video here. Thank you for watching the KC Conversation and have a good day.